Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. That is because I am sighting in my brand new muzzleloader. This is the CVA ENDURA Pro. Super sweet. Lots of things to love about this. Whole lot of boogie. If you missed my unboxing video, definitely take a look at it where I really deep dive into it, show you everything that it comes with, and go into detail why this is awesome. But let me give you the quick gist of it. 26-inch heavy Bergara barrel. It does have some flutes in it. Threaded barrel. I do have a muzzle brake on the way for this. It's drilled and tapped for iron sights. A bunch of people asked me about that after my first video. This is drilled and tapped for iron sights. I just put a scope on it. These Enduras are Remington 700 pattern, so I went to my favorite shop in the land, Tolliver's. They had these Remington 700 Louisville rings. I think these are called the backcountry rings. Torqued those down good. Got it scoped up last night. I got the bolt out so I can bore sight it when we get to the range. But first thing I got to do is pre-measure some powder. What I'm going to try in this thing first is the Blackhorn 209. A bunch of people wanted to argue with me in the unboxing video, talking about don't measure the powder by weight, measure it by volume. But in the past, a lot of times we did measure by volume, but the manual specifically says powder charges by weight. So I'm running Blackhorn 209. It says with a 98 grain charge by weight, we should be getting almost 2,300 feet per second with those 205 or 285 grain power belt ELRs, which is what I have. So I'm here at my reloading setup here. I'm gonna measure out some 98 grain powder charges and get some of my quick tubes filled up so I can be ready to go out at the range. So I'm gonna show you real quick what I'm doing, and we'll get set up, and we're going to get to the range and get this baby sighted in. So I was just reloading my 300 PRC, and there's a fly in here with some Retumbo. We don't want to put Retumbo in my muzzleloader, so I just did a really good job cleaning out my IntelliDropper, crossed out Retumbo, and now we're putting this Blackhorn 209. Make sure you get it cleaned out real good. You don't want to be putting the wrong stuff in there. So just to show you what this Blackhorn stuff looks like, we'll get a good amount poured in there, and then I'll show you up close here. So that's what Blackhorn 209 looks like. Now I'm going to double check my book here. Something about this muzzleloader too is you can use N120, IMR 4198, or Blackhorn. We're using Blackhorn. So just to triple check, 98 grain by weight is what we're going to start with. So go to my scale here. I already calibrated it, and we're going to do 98, go. Well, I got one little kernel in there, and I don't know what that is. So let me get that out of there. So, 98. Well, now my zero's off, so let me zero it again. 98, boom. Give me 98 grains of that Blackhorn 209, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got my first 98 grains measured there, and I'm actually going to use my reloading funnel because I don't trust my pouring. And there we go. That looks like a pretty serious charge there. Now we're ready to go with 98 grains, and I'm going to do quite a bit of these, and then we're going to head out to the range. If you missed the first video unboxing too, I showed you the Veriflames, and I got a bunch of questions about the Veriflames, so let me show you that real quick while I'm setting up some more. So the Veriflame adapter, it allows you to use take that back. It allows you to use rifle primers. So these right here, large rifle primers. So I've got them on my reloading desk. This is what I'm using for this muzzleloader, large rifle primers. So you get your primers. This muzzleloader came with a little press setup, and you press your large rifle primers in here, and then this Veriflame adapter is what you use to put in here into your breech. I've got mine pulled out because I'm about to go bore sight it. Where's the thing at? Here's my breech plug. We'll have this primed up with a large rifle primer, and then that fits right in there, and then boom, you fire it. You get your Veriflame adapter out, punch the primer out, put a new one in, you're ready to go. This muzzleloader actually has a little cubby hole down here where it has a holder where you can tote some. See, I've already got some primed up, so you keep those in there for your follow-up shots or whatever. But just bringing you all along with me. I'm gonna load up some more powder charges. We're gonna get this baby sighted in, and we're gonna chase some whitetail first with this thing. I'm excited. All right, y'all. It's getting serious now. I'm getting excited. So, I've got the bolt out. I've got the breech plug out. So, what that means is I can look straight down the barrel from back here in order to bore sight this thing. Now, I had this scope on a 243, so it's already been on a rifle, so it shouldn't be too far off, but it's not going to be exact. We could luck out, but I doubt it. So looking through the barrel here, that's about pretty dead center. And we're off just a smidge. So let me take these caps off. And sometimes I'll bore sight stuff in a lot closer, but I'm gonna go ahead and try at 100 yards here first. I probably should start closer. You know what? I'll start closer. Just to make sure, especially with all the stuff we got going on here and measuring the powder and all that. You know what? Nah, I don't need to bring it in. Let's just go ahead and send one at 100 yards. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run a brush down the barrel. We kind of got a lot going on here. When I first got into muzzle loading, hunting with muzzle loaders, I'll be the first one to tell you, a little bit intimidated. Hey, but once you got it going on and got it figured out, piece of cake. So I'm gonna run this brush through just one time. Make sure that everything's knocked out of that barrel. No crud from shipping or none of that. A lot of my videos, I kind of try to rush through and keep them, you know, entertainment value and not be too droned out and boring. But for this video, I want to go step by step and literally bring you along with everything that I'm doing. So I started using this years ago. NIC's stick. It's essentially a glue stick that CVA makes. It says designed for high temperatures with breech plugs, choke tubes, yeah, and the like. If you don't use this, there's a higher chance that your breech plug is going to want to get stuck and get frozen in there. So this is a real nice muzzleloader. Any muzzleloader that you got, you paid your hard-earned money for, take good care of it. You know, this stick's like $1.02 maybe. So put this on there and take good care of your muzzleloader. So I'm just going to run some of this over the threads like that before we put this breech plug back in there. Good stuff to be using. Paint this on your threads and you'll thank yourself down the road when you go to take your muzzleloader apart. It's no different than you working on a car and you're putting some anti-seize on your spark plugs. So you're not snapping off spark plugs in your block, you know what I mean? That's not a good idea either. But this will save you a bunch of headaches. I saw a video one time, somebody that worked in customer service for CVA. I might have put that on too thick, but it'll be okay. And don't quote me on this, but I heard someone from CVA muzzleloaders one time say something to the effect of, like their #1 customer service complaint was people sending in muzzleloaders where their breech plugs were stuck. This is the breech plug wrench that came with the rifle. I'm gonna put the breech plug back on there. Stick it through here. And be real careful screwing this in by hand here. Screwing this up into the barrel. It should be easy. You shouldn't have to force it. If you're having to force these threads in, you're doing something wrong. But yeah, we're gonna get this hand tied up in there. And then it came with just this little crossbar you're gonna put in there and just give it a little bit of whoop whoop. You don't gotta bear down or give it all the beans there, just get it snug in there. Pull our breech plug out. Ta-da! Our breech plug wrench out. Set this to the side. Don't want to mess up my bench here. Then we've got our bolt. I'm gonna put the bolt in. Real easy to use and set it up. It's just essentially like a Remington 700 with the button there. So our bolt is in there. So now what's next? We need powder. We need the bullet. And then lastly, we're gonna put the primer in. So you saw over there earlier, I'm gonna get everything off this desk that I don't need and declutterize here. You saw earlier, I pre-measured the powder. So I do have a muzzle brake ordered. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Even though there's not a primer in there, we're going 100% on the safety side here. I pre-measured the powder. Now, this muzzleloader does come with this funnel, powder funnel, which comes in extra handy when you have the muzzle brake, because the muzzle brake come up here and it has the ports on it. So if you use the funnel, make sure you get all your powder in there. We took the time to pre-measure this powder real precise like. So yeah, now let's open this up. Make sure we don't spill it. It's real windy out here, so that's kind of a bummer, but this is a healthy charge of powder in here. We're gonna pour the powder in. Make sure it all gets down the funnel into the barrel. All right, empty, not a kernel in there. Put the funnel off to the side. Now we have our full, not full charge. You can go higher than this. This is essentially the minimum charge. Now we need the bullet. So I've got the 285 power belts. It's a 45 caliber. Open this up. These 45 caliber ELRs, they got the blue tips. Got to make sure you got the right ammo, buddy. So I'm gonna set that there. Man, that goes in there good. Then we're gonna get our ramrod. This muzzleloader came with this ramrod. It also came with the pack ramrod that's collapsible. You can have it on your bag with you if you're out in the backcountry. Notice I put the tip on here that's for these more elongated bullets. We're gonna put this down here. Man, that thing loads so smooth. We're gonna hit the powder and give it just a firm. Make sure that it's seated in there. It's seated in there nice and firm. So now we got the powder. We got the bullet seated in there. CVA also makes another ramrod that has little doodads that helps you make sure you're being extremely consistent on your pressure there. The more consistent, it's just like hand loading, guys. The more consistent you are with everything you do across the board, the powder, the seating depth, all that, the more consistent you're going to be downrange. So the last thing that we need for this thing to fire is our primer. Man, it's getting windy out here. And I'm gonna grab one that I preloaded out of here. I showed you guys. We're gonna have to do some more, obviously. Man, need my knife. I just cut my fingernails. All right, now I showed you this in the video where I unboxed it, but for the sake of just having all the data in one video, here is one of those Veriflame adapters that has already been charged with a large rifle primer. Now, just for the sake of showing you, let me get my unprimed Veriflame adapters and I'll show you one here in this video. So, all right, now, I know we're going slow here, but I want to make sure I answer any questions that you might have if you're looking at this muzzleloader. So, now to prime these Veriflame adapters to make it look like that, you're going to start with this. You're going to put the Veriflame adapter down in there. Then you're going to put this sleeve on top. You're going to put the primer face up. And you're going to slide it down in that hole. Now the user manual says to get a little rubber or plastic hammer, like a little hobby hammer or something. I didn't grab one today, but then you're going to take this plunger. Make sure you got your glasses on anytime you're fooling with primers. And then we're just going to mash this down there. And what this is doing is putting even pressure on that primer to push it down in there, so the primer's not going off. Now, don't do what I'm doing here. Use the hammer. But actually, I do have a small hammer here. Hold on. I forgot I did have a hammer out here. This will get your hands away from it. It's not a plastic or a little rubber hammer, but this will do. Even hits. And the user manual says you want the primer flush. So there's our now charged Veriflame adapter. So I'm gonna do a couple more here off camera, and then we're gonna be ready to fire this baby. I'm excited. All right, now the moment we all been waiting for. Fixing to let her rip, baby. Got my chronograph set up. Powder in. Pull it in. Eyes and ears on. Last thing we gotta do is put that primer in. Now, hopefully my bore sight job was good. Like I said, dealing with a 45 cal, or even bigger, a 50 cal. This is a 45. Your bore is quite a bit bigger circle to be focused on a tiny target at 100 yards. As opposed to like a 30 cal or a 25 cal center fire. But we're gonna get this in there. They have a little primer tool, but you can put it in with your hands if you need to. We're all safe. Now, keep your fingers crossed here. I'm also interested to see the speed. I think what the book says, it's supposed to be just a shade under 2,300 feet per second. Which is scooting for a 285 grainer. But let's make some noise and hopefully this hits our paper down there. Set our parallax. And I'm gonna give it all the zoomies at 24 zoomies. Like this is an Arkin LH4 on here. Good trigger on these too. I have not adjusted it out of the box, but you can. I might do that. Don't have the muzzle brake, so I'm expecting some boogies. Somebody said he's got it in a lead sled. Yeah, I know. Do my best on my squeeze here. Dead center of the target. Did we hit the paper? Yes, we did, on the very left edge. Whew. I was worried there for a second. You can see on the bottom left, we hit the paper. So now, just like a center fire, I'm gonna adjust that. I got stink bugs landing on me today. We've had a bumper crop year for stink bugs and ladybugs. So, just like any other rifle, I'm gonna adjust the up and down, left and right. from the center to where our impact was. Try to be, well, let's just look at it first. So 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches down. So we should need roughly 12 clicks down. Up is going to be that way, so we need to go up on the scope dial to bring it down. I'm going to go with 11 clicks down. This is in mils, by the way. 0.3 mils is roughly an inch. Now, how far are we off to the left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call it 5.5. So probably need about 15 clicks to bring it back to center. So it's left, so we need to turn it to the right. So pay attention and count my clicks here. There was 15 clicks to bring it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's give it one. Well, let's give it 2 more clicks. Call it 17 clicks over. Now, fair flame adapter out. More powder, another bullet, another primer in that adapter, and let's rip another one. Also, that speed was 2289.7, which is almost exactly what the manual said. It's like somebody knows what they're doing or something, huh? But let's load it up again. You already watched me do it, so I'm not going to show you that this time. Remember, keep those adapters. Those adapters, somebody asked me the other day, those are not one-time use. So you knock that dead primer out and you use it again. So load this up and I'll see you in a second. I might as well show you this. So one of the advantages of using that Blackhorn and this whole setup is it just loads easy and easy and easy. Where days gone by, if you're using those nasty pellets, things get real dirty real quick, and you got to clean your barrel all the time, sometimes after every single shot, and whether you're at the range or hunting, that can be a bummer. I'm gonna slide this because my make this whole rig shorter to get my swivel studs out front of that. Now we're loaded, ready to go. Eyes and ears, let's send another one. Hopefully I turned the scope the right way, huh? It looks like on my bore sight, the left to right, I should have left it where it was. I adjusted it from where I had it on something else. But here we go. Let's make some more smoke, and hopefully this one hits closer to the center of our target down there. It's closer to the bullseye. I'm not gonna lie. You can taste that smoke. Not gonna lie. A little bit anxious when I'm squeezing the trigger on that one. That's got some horsepower. You get a deer with this, that deer will know it. So we moved our turrets in the right direction. I need to come 3 clicks up. Let's give it 4 clicks up. And we need about 5 or 6 clicks to bring it to the right all the way we need it. So it's to the left, we need to go right. Let's just go ahead and go 6 clicks. All right, now load it up again for the 3rd time. This one, we hope we get her right there where we need it. Tell you the truth, I only loaded up 4 powder charges because I was confident we'd get it figured in. But we can go get some more powder loaded up. Yeah, baby. Make some more noise here. Well, the chronograph messed up on that one. It said 1830 for some reason. I angled it a little weird. So we'll have to delete that string out of it. But where are we at now? We're getting close. I'm gonna click it twice to the right, and I'm gonna bring it 3 more up. And let's load in 1 more charge. I think we should be golden here. Something else to add that I forgot, just to tell you. The The front of the bolt here is magnetic, which is a cool feature that they added here. But I'm gonna load it up again, and then we should be ready to deer hunt. For this episode, I'm getting this thing ready to go for deer hunting. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do quite a bit more filming with this. Not only deer hunting. I don't like these tubes. I'm not gonna use this tube anymore. It sticks the powder to it. I gotta get different powder savers. Not only deer hunting, but also some long range stuff with this, where we're gonna, I'm gonna do some number crunching on drop tables and all that. And it's gonna be awesome, so stay tuned for those videos too. I'm glad that first bore sight one hit, at least hit paper. We'd been chasing it some. Here we go, number 4. Is this gonna be better on target, or did I mess up with the scope dials? Fixing to find out. It's a good trigger squeeze there. So I like the elevation, and I'm gonna click it once to the left. Boom. And we're calling this sealed up. Ready for deer catching, boys. Woo! Oh my. Put those scope covers on, baby. Hey, let me tell you something. This is one sweet, bad mama jamma. Now, before we end the video, let me show you my chronograph string, because it's pretty cool. Let me go turn my downrange camera off real quick, though. All right, so check it out here. Here's my chronograph readings. I did 4 downrange. I'm gonna delete this 1830 because there's no way that was right. Yes, delete shot, and that's gonna fix our data. So look at how consistent that was. 2289, 2296, 2267. Not too shabby. What's our oh no, I don't want to delete it. No, hold on now. I ain't quite remembered how to work this thing yet. How do I go back? Return? Yeah, I want the summary. Give me the summary. So 2284 is my average I'm going to be working off when I build my drop tables. So that's going to be sweet. But stay tuned. We're going to really stretch this bad boy out using this data we just learned here today. Not too shabby. 12 SD for a muzzleloader. That's pretty slick, y'all. But hey, man, let me tell you something. Some people might say, why are you using ancient technology? Well, it is kind of ancient technology when you're thinking about muskets and powders and loading it from the barrel. But hey, let me tell you what. This is one fine muzzleloader from everything from the stock. I didn't adjust the cheek riser, but it does adjust. Adjust length of pull. Remington 700 setup. You can adjust the trigger. I'm probably going to leave it right there. I got a nice scope on there. Heavy 26-inch fluted Bergara barrel. You can use iron sights for y'all that need the iron sights. This is one bad mama jamma. We just sighted it in. At 100 yards, just like we would a centerfire deer rifle. And let me tell you something, this thing's loud. My neighbor came over here and he said, what in the Sam Hill you got going on over here? I said, let me introduce you to the CVA ENDURA Pro. Yeah, but yeah, we sighted it in. I can pretty near guarantee we're gonna get a deer with it. If we don't, well, let's just say we're gonna get a deer with it. Anyways, I'm rambling because I'm excited, but almost 2,300 feet per second with these big 285s. That's a wallop. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Stay tuned for a whole lot more muzzleloader action with the CVA ENDURA Pro and a whole lot more. Bunch coming you don't want to miss. Appreciate y'all watching so much. We'll see you on the next one. Hoo-dee-hoo.